Alright guys, I've been asked to do a demonstration on how I tie my Clousers for saltwater fishing. I use a 1.0 Gamakatsu SL12 hook, a dumbbell eye of some description. These ones are black. I like these ones because I find them easier to tie onto the hook. Some flash. I'm using the EP Sparkle flash, but crystal flash or any other type of flash, whatever you like, is good. And a bucktail, and that's it. First thing we do is get our eyes securely on the hook. Like that. Then we get our thread. I'm using Danville's flat wax nylon, which I find nice and strong and a bit old-fashioned, but seems to do the trick pretty well for me on these flies. Get a thread base going. And one of the things you want to do here is make sure this thread base is nice and tight on the hook. Otherwise you can get your eyes spinning on the fly. So I usually do about that much, but each to their own. All right, now then we get our eyes. And the way I like to tie my eyes in, you tie them about 1/3 of the way back along the shank. So not right at the front, it's back about here is the tie-in point. And I tie them in, I don't have a number of wraps I do, but I tie them in like that, where I have them on the diagonal. And I tie a number of wraps, increasing the tension. And then you can see they're in there and they're quite firm, they're quite tight. And then I wrap back the other way. So my fingers are in the way there, but I'm holding them straight and then wrapping. So if I try and do one this way, I'm holding them straight and then wrapping. And you can see as I do that, it brings those eyes back to be more parallel. One of the critical things about this fly is you want the eyes to be at 90 degrees this way and level that way. You don't want them to be on an angle here, and you don't want them to be tilted forward or back. So take extra time to do that. And you should be able to see my eyes there, 90 degrees pretty much to the hook shank, and pretty level. Then I helicopter under. So I go under both sides and then up again. And then I do some 2 wraps that way, 2 wraps that way, 2 wraps that way, 2 wraps that way, and then under again. And then another couple that way, another couple that way. And then I just tie back around. That should make, you can see there's a bit of a thread down there, which is like helping to stop those eyes rotating on the hook. And that should make for a very robust fly. I may have put these a little bit too close to the front, but they'll probably be okay. So then I like to super glue my eyes in here. And normally I'll tie these in batches where I have, I might do 6 or 12 with just the eye. Whip finish it, put it aside to dry, and by the time I'm finished, I'm ready to go back to the beginning and start putting in my bodies. All right, so now we're ready to tie in our wing. You notice I've put the hook in the other way around, so hook point up. We get our bucktail, get a few bucktail fibers. This one's a bit long, but so it's probably better for bigger flies, but it'll work. Get a bit of bucktail. I usually tie this fly quite sparse, so I'll probably cut off more than I need there. And I'm just going to stack it a little bit. Get rid of the under fur and short fibers that are there, and some of those straggly ones, because I don't need all of that. usually tie it about 1.5 to 2 times the length of the hook, sometimes a little bit longer, sometimes 2.5, but I generally tie these quite short and quite sparse. But there are times when I will tie larger, the same pattern in with longer bucktail, because I want a bigger fly for a particular reason. When it comes to tying this in, you'll see I've got the butts there. My scissors are getting a bit blunt on me, but they should be cut straight up and down, and they're kind of in an oval shape. One of the tricks here, there's a couple of things that that you need to be mindful of, and I'm just spinning my thread to demonstrate something. One of them is, don't tie those in parallel to the hook shank. We want them to be at an angle. If we tie them in parallel, we'll get a bump there, and it'll just look, A, it won't look that good, B, the fibres won't stay in the fly as well as we want it to. So we hold it at about a 45-degree angle when we tie it in, and the other thing is, when we tie, we put wraps in our thread, and it twists it up. The other thing it does besides twist it is it makes it kick. So I've just done that now to exacerbate this, but you'll see when I come over, that thread wants to kick to the right. So it's actually quite hard. I can do a pinch wrap, but other than doing a pinch wrap, it's quite hard for me to get those ends into the fibre, because as I go over with a soft wrap, that thread kicks to my right, to your left. The way we fix that is we spin the bobbin anti-clockwise as we look down on it. And now when I come over, you'll see that thread naturally wants to kick to my left. So it's very easy for me to do a loose wrap because it's just there. So it kicks over to my left, just there, really soft thread, soft wrap. Another soft wrap over it, and then we can put some harder wraps in, some stronger wraps in, and there's our bucktail tied in. So as I said, I tie these quite sparse. Some people put a bit more than that. Some people put 2 wings on, 2 different colours to give a bit of a contrast. Now I do my flash, my EP sparkle flash. And I'm pretty rough and ready when it comes to this. I'm just basically tie it in, I get it, fold it back on itself, and tie it off, and then get back to there, and it just breaks off. And it, I think, creates a nice, very subtle flash in the fly. It doesn't overpower the fly, and just gives it a little bit of flash and a little bit of attraction in the water. And then it's about wet finish. Snip the thread. I usually put a bit of super glue on that just to give it a bit more durability on that head, and we're good to go. And once you get the hang of that, and particularly when you tie your eyes on first and you do a bit of a production run, you can churn these out very, very quickly. So hopefully that's been useful to you.